navigate over to the WBS Properties tab. As we get to the WBS Properties tab, we have all the WBS properties listed here on the left-hand side. Selecting on any one of them, just like you've seen before, we can right mouse button click on any column header and select Best Fit for all columns. See it expanding out. Another thing that you can do, which is really quite effective, is in the ribbon, selecting on the WBS Properties table view, we see the same list that we saw before. It's not in sorted order at the moment, but if you recall, you can, 1, left mouse button click to go into ascending order, 2, right mouse button click, Best Fit for all columns. Now you can see everything. Now, another thing that is really quite attractive is you can follow any one of the available values columns down to the specific cell that you would like to take a look at. Say, for example, here, master point level 1. By clicking on the values, we get the ellipsis, the ... which expands more information and gives us a dialog box. Now, once the dialog box is open, we can investigate this further, and we can look at things like, say, for example, here, our very first row is empty, and then we have all of master format level 1. Might be useful to go ahead and just toggle on that by default we want it to be blank, and then we can specify in Data Manager specifically the line items we would like to have in master format level 1. By completing that, all we have to do is go ahead and close back out, and in just a moment this refreshes into SQL, and click on the cell, it will refresh as well. One final note is if we have a long list, let's say for example master format level 2, go in with the ellipsis and take a look at the list. A couple of things that are nice here is if you really want to be able to either search and replace or sort the list or like that, you could always select on the row header. And then after you've selected the first row header, which was the solicitation, you can slide all the way down to the very bottom. And this is very intentional. You have to hold down your Shift key and then select on the row header again to grab the last one. Now that all these are selected, a Control-C, that's Control-Charlie, puts that into the copy buffer. And then we can walk this over to Excel. And let's just go ahead and spin up a new Excel worksheet. And then Control-V, Control-Victor, we have everything that has just been pulled from Data Manager into Excel. Here's a quick tip as well. Notice how all these are selected at the moment, but it's hard to read everything. A double click will go ahead and spread these all out here, here, and here. Now, following step is really important as well, is we can go ahead and enforce the sort order by selecting on column B and then going to the Data tab and then simply selecting on the sort. We can keep with or continue with the current selection, and we want to make sure to toggle on that my data has a header, so it won't touch that, and that is going to be sorted by the WBS properties in an ascending sort A to Z. Selecting on OK. Now we have all our items in numeric alphabetical order down to the bottom, where we can see our final one is 4870. And then a quick little tip here, if you were to select on cell B2, then holding down Shift, Control, and the arrow key to the bottom selects the entire list. A Control-C adds that to the copy buffer, and then back over to Data Manager. With our list still available to us, we can go ahead and get these lower items in their correct order. So sliding all the way up to the very top, you have to be intentional about this. Select and highlight over a solicitation. I personally like to delete it so I know for sure that I have written it properly. And then this is intentional as well. Control-V, Control-Victor pastes the entire list in place. There we go. And we can see our list. The last item is the 4870. And then if we slide back up to the top, the first one after the empty one or the blank one is solicitation. Once we want to publish this back to SQL, just click, and it will go ahead and you see the hourglass, and it's now up to date. You can always check that by going back over to the WBS Properties tree view, selecting on, say, for example, here, master format level 2. We can see everything going in numeric alphabetic order all the way down to the very bottom where we have our MITIC list.